Before Kabul's fall in 2021, Islamabad positioned itself as mediator, engaging the Taliban and Western powers, promoting what it called an inclusive Afghan future. But for Pakistan, this was more than diplomacy. It was strategic. A friendly Kabul, Islamabad hoped, would cement its influence across the Durand Line and stabilize its Western front. Then came August 2021. As US and NATO forces withdrew, the Taliban swept across Afghanistan with stunning speed. Pakistan initially saw this as vindication. A neighbor finally aligned with its security doctrine. But that confidence didn't last long. The early months brimmed with optimism. But by 2022, that optimism collapsed into violence. The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan regrouped inside Afghan territory, while Baloch insurgents reignited conflict in Pakistan's southwest. The Durand Line turned into a flashpoint, each skirmish deepening suspicion. Dialogue gave way to a rise in incidences of attacks and a rising death toll. As ties soured, Pakistan faced a surge of attacks at home. The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan escalated bombings in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Baloch insurgents targeted rail lines, convoys, and energy projects. Blasts and ambushes shook Islamabad's control over its frontier. Pakistan blamed Kabul for harboring militants. The Taliban denied it, calling it Pakistan's own war. Brotherhood turned into blame. Cut to October 9, 2025. In a major escalation, Pakistan carried out airstrikes on Kabul on September 9, 2025, days after Defense Minister Khwaja Asif warned Afghanistan, enough is enough.
जिस मट्टी में से उनको फायदा मिल रहा है, जिस मुल्क से, जिस सरजमीन से उनको फायदा मिल रहा है, उस मुल्क के साथ दुश्मनी कर रहे हैं। सर, ये अब बर्दाश्त नहीं होगा। हमें यकसू होके मिनहसुल कौम जो है जवाब देना पड़ेगा इन लोगों को जो उनको पनाहगाहें मुयस्सर करते हैं, चाहे वो हमारी सरजमीन पे हैं या वो अफगानिस्तान की सरजमीन के ऊपर हैं।
Taliban reassured residents that investigations are underway. As Pakistan's imaginary influence waned, India quietly re-entered the frame. India re-engaged through development and diplomacy, sending aid and financing infrastructure. Since 2021, India continues to safeguard over $3 billion invested in Afghanistan across 500-plus development projects. Key initiatives include the Shatut Dam to provide drinking water to Kabul's 2 million residents and the fourth phase of high-impact community projects worth $80 million. New Delhi is also set to upgrade its Kabul mission to full embassy status. And now, the shift is unmistakable. Afghan Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi chose New Delhi, not Islamabad, for his first high-level visit, signaling a new balance in South Asia.
Afghanistan, on the basis of its Islamic principles and precepts, has adopted a balanced and economic-centric foreign policy, and seeks positive relations with all countries. India has a good opportunity to engage on this positive trajectory and advance our relations, just as we have managed to do so over the last 4 years. And we hope that this balanced policy will encourage others to also come forward.
As a contiguous neighbor and a well-wisher of the Afghan people, India has a deep interest in your development and progress. Today, I reaffirm that our long-standing partnership that has seen so many Indian projects in Afghanistan stands renewed. We can discuss the maintenance and repairs of finished projects, as well as steps to complete others.
Afghanistan now seeks legitimacy and investment. India offers infrastructure without interference. China, under US tariff strain, is exploring indirect cooperation through India. Meanwhile, Pakistan, increasingly isolated, edges closer once again to Washington. Afghanistan's pivot towards India marks a quiet geopolitical reset. A country Pakistan thought could be its ally has now chosen other partners over Islamabad. And India, through development rather than deployment, is back on the Afghan stage.